Whisky lovers, here we are on the first Friday of April, and is it a Good Friday? I'm not sure what necessarily makes it a Good Friday. Something about a zombie? I can't remember. Okay, so I had planned to do the Caol Ela that Josh got us as a smoked old-fashioned. To explain, one of the places we went to on the Friday after my birthday was Granddad's bar, which is an I want to call it an old-fashioned whiskey bar, but it's really a bar connected to a distillery which makes its own whiskey as well as gins and all this sort of stuff. It has a whole range of things. And one of their signature dishes is the smoked old-fashioned. And I was like, well, I have to try that. And it came out, and well, here's a clip of it. And ready? Oh, wow.
Oh,
That was good.
Whisky channel.
now that's
Nice huge bell end jar filled completely with smoke, and I'm pretty certain it was cherry smoke, and that's what Mel also thought too by the smell. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to try that at home with my smoker. Unfortunately, I can't do it with the whole bell end thing because that will require a aroma gun, which I do not have. So there's that. But then it also turns out, so I was just going to do it the old-fashioned way. An old-fashioned way of doing the old-fashioned. But now I can't find my Agrosa bitters and my Agave syrup. But that's all right, because I could have substituted a bit of honey mixed with water for the simple syrup part. But without the bitters, it's no-go. So, and I'm not sure what happened to the bitters. I'm not sure if we just finished them and I completely forgot, or they've been moved, because I had 2 bottles of it in various states of opening, and I'm not sure. Can't find either of them. Not in the usual places I would put them. It was not saying much because it could just be a little bit off to the side, and I just don't, my brain doesn't process it. So there's that. But what I decided to do when I was looking up how to do the smoking techniques with a bell jar, which is how I know you can't do it, you'd have to use an aroma gun. The chimney smoker, which is good for home cocktails, which is part of the reason why they apparently the smoked cocktails have disappeared or dwindled in popularity, because it's now very easy to do it at home with one of these apparently. Another way of doing it is to actually fill the glass up first with your ice and fill that up with the smoke first, and then pour your whiskey on it. So you know what, we're going to try that. And this is probably better suited for that sort of experiment than the smoked old-fashioned anyway, because the smoked old-fashioned is about imbuing smoke to a previously non-smoky drink. Now, this is, of course, an island of Islay, and it is naturally peated and smoky, but I did notice it's not as smoke-heavy as the Lavagoulin and the Laparock. And I think the Jura? Yeah, I think the Jura is another whiskey from there. So this is a good way of then imbuing to make this smokier. So it would be a good test. And I just realised I don't have another glass to do the previous taste test, but hopefully it'll still be in my memory. So what we're going to do is I've got my cherry smoke, wood chips. Sprinkle a little bit in there. Oh, also too, I could not actually find my ice cubes. We're in the process of sorting the place out. I'll explain more later. But the only ice cubes I had were huge ones, which I thought would be great. And they don't quite fit into the hurricane glass. So I just got, what I've got is my stainless steel whiskey stones that I got for Christmas. Okay, so get the lighter. And we'll fill this all the way up. So we now have a smoke-filled jar. So I'm going to prepare to pour the whiskey. And I just dropped burning embers everywhere. Okay. Okay. Looks good. It's got that nice cherry smell to it now. Okay. The cherry smoke is actually distinct from the peat. So I can actually taste both levels of smokiness in this. I don't know if this is a result of this particular technique I've used today, or because I don't think, have I tried the smoke with the peat? I can't remember. I don't know, but so the flavour is it being imbued again. Yeah, now they're starting to meld a bit better. But very nice. Okay, so I'm going to try. So this week would be typically ordering week, with delivery next week. Unfortunately, because Friday is a public holiday, next week will be ordering week. So the following week will be delivery week. So I might go back and see about getting Aragos bitters to make an old fashioned, and I might use a Redbreast or something. I've got some of that. I think I have some Bushmills left off the top of my head. I think there might be 2 types of Bushmills. I'm sure there's 2 or 3 Redbreasts. And I'm sure there's another Irish in there somewhere. Oh, the Teeling, I think. Or did I finish that? Oh, I might have finished that. I was doing Irish mules for St. Pat's Day, and I used Guinness for the bread. So yeah, but I'll use an Irish one because that's typically that, or a bourbon or a rye whiskey is typically what's in an old fashioned. Doesn't have to be, but that's just the typical one, and we'll try smoking that. So until next week, Santé.